Hello everyone, so today we're going to be going on Sanctuary, which is a great map, probably one of my favorite maps now, and we're going to be doing the Crossmaster again. I said I would do this on Ravine and Sanctuary, so here it is on Ravine. I'm going to be bringing Quincy, not for any particular reason of being good, but it's just going to be fun. Quincy's fun to use here and there, and I think this combination is going to go pretty well because I'm going to be bringing Glue Storm along in the mix too, and Quincy should do pretty well with Glue Storm. So that's going to be very cool and all. For the early game, it was a little bit rough, mostly because I didn't really want to buy downdraft, but then I ended up having to buy downdraft. So if I just went for downdraft earlier, it would be like way easier, but that's alright. I was still able to get the Crossmaster before 63, so there was no problems with that. But if I went just for like Village Outbuff and the Dart, of course, with the downdraft, I could have gotten a Crossmaster super early, and with that, I probably would be able to cut primary mentoring too. I think that overall in this entire run, primary mentoring could be cut, which is actually like a lot of money saved, so that would be pretty cool if that were to be possible. But yeah, Quincy did alright in the early game. The ability was really able to sweep some stuff, but there were a few rounds that I struggled on, like I had to get an extra sniper to beat 22 and 23 because I didn't have the two arrows yet. After that, everything was pretty chill. I was able to get into sharpshooter. The sharpshooter is pretty cool. It got like a lot of buffs, particularly to that. And now the one thing is like again, it was a 1% buff to, or about 1% to the Crossmaster, but sharpshooter did get a bunch of cool buffs, and it wrecks house pretty nicely. So that's very cool. Like round 40 just gets absolutely destroyed and all. So I'm gonna grab an alk buff. I do think it also might be possible to cut stim. That actually not probably very possible. So again, at the end, all that said, for optimizations that could have been made, I feel like I could save about like $5,000-6,000, which would be pretty cool to have added to the end of the cash spare, and I do get some decent cash spare. So I'll just be coming back in a little moment when some other stuff happens. So pushing into the 80s, of course, I obviously don't really have a lot of damage. The Crossmaster actually does pretty well on this map. It doesn't have the craziest synergy with Blue Storm, that's more so Quincy, and Quincy will be getting a level 20 pretty easily, but I do not have CTA, which is where Quincy really gets all of the power. Overclock and CTA. In the meantime, we just only have overclock, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue. So I was kind of concerned about my damage. So when I was looking for approach, I thought I would just go for something interesting and go for a super glue. The whole idea is try to just completely stall out one side so you can deal with the rest of the other side. And I'm also going to get a first strike on top of this to be able to take out round 100. That's going to be necessary, so I have to get that. But because of that ravine run, I was thinking that just damage alone was not really going to be possible. I would come into a ton of issues, and if I were to buy more support towers to like fix up those issues, I'd just get more issues later on. So I decided, also because I can't converge the lanes with the Condor, I decided to go for a super glue, and I think it ended up working out pretty well. Again, there's some things that I could have fixed up, mostly cutting useless things. The late game was actually really easy, so it definitely would have been possible to cut some things. Again, I'm thinking that stim and primary mentoring. There were some other rounds that I wasn't sure about, like 95 and 99. I was not really sure how it would work out, but when I did the transition over to 96 and 100, they just ended up being free, so there really wasn't much of an issue there. Super glue didn't really take out the DDT that well because super glue does not have camo here. We were just relying on whatever foam the Sentry, no, not the Sentry, the overclock gives, so like it's a little bit, not really a whole lot, but yeah, everything else is fine. 100, I just tried to get my abilities back, which is all good, I guess, besides the first strike. That's fine though. And then for 98, we just focus on one lane because that's something super glue can do. We can just have super glue targeting all of that stuff. So the first lane goes down with Quincy's abilities, and then the second lane we can take care of the rest of it, and it's super chill. 99 was the one that I spent the most time on, but honestly I didn't have to because I was trying to get it so I would have maybe like the glue storm back early on 100, and this was really the best result I could get. I couldn't get anything better than that, and this ended up being more than enough, so no really worries there. I just used abilities and then first strike at the end. I had a lot more leeway too, so yeah, that was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool run, and 35k spare isn't bad. We could have improved it though. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!